problem with testing is we end up in an educational system spending too much time teaching for the tests.
The decline in education is one of the major reasons why our country is in decline.
Here is my plan to save American education.
Everyone seems to agree that the education system needs fixing. Well then, why hasn't it been fixed yet? Many people have given up on the idea of fixing education, specifically fixing public education. In fact, there's a growing movement of parents pulling their kids out of public schools and putting them into charter or private schools, with many even pursuing homeschooling. But today I will not be talking about public education failing because of indoctrination in public education. Parents have already figured out a fix for that. They can send their kids to some kind of private or charter school or homeschool so they can influence the way that they want to. But in this video, I will talk about how we can fix public education because we have been asking the wrong questions, we've been asking the wrong people, and we've been looking in the wrong places. As a teacher, I might surprise you with what I'm about to say. Paying teachers more is not going to fix public education. Yep, I said it. Yes, it's the right thing to do. However, it is not the answer to fixing education. We need to fix the biggest problem in education, student apathy. And I am not blaming students for their apathy or their lack of excitement for school. The adult public and many educators are quick to say that it's the students that are the problem. Many blame the real addiction of technology and social media. We indeed have a pandemic of youth anxiety, depression, and social skills that can be directly tied to those addictions. However, that's a separate issue and it needs its own solution. When it comes to education, student apathy is fixable for a large amount of students. Due to this apathy, students are leaving our high schools unprepared for professional life, regardless if they're starting a career right away or going to college. And it's not their fault. Our school system has sucked them dry of their prospects, their potential skills, and most importantly, their motivation. So then, what can we do to help kids care about their education? Well, we must make education relevant to them and the real world. How many times have you thought or heard a student say, "Why do we need to know this?" A teacher of any school subject is going to be able to explain why their subject is important. However, it's going to be really difficult to explain that to a teenager. There is a solution though: vocational high schools. Vocational high schools are high schools that focus on technical education. It doesn't mean they don't teach the fundamentals of classic education, but spend more time on professional skills. By the way, this doesn't just include the STEM subjects like math and science, but high-level skills that can help you be an electrician, a mechanic, a plumber, a computer programmer, engineer, and so much more. Vocational schools help teach and train highly skilled professionals. In the past 20 years or so, many school districts have dabbled in providing more vocational opportunities. For example, 8.3 million students have participated in what are called career and technical education, or CTE pathways in 2020-21. But very few school districts have gone all in to creating vocational schools. And that's what we need to do. We need to create separate high schools that focus on vocational training, not just having one wing of the school that has the wood shop and the car mechanic shop, and not just some separate place that they leave for a few periods of the day. I mean a fully contained vocational high school. Now, let me share with you why we need this. First, let's talk about teachers. Teachers spend much of their time dealing with students that have no desire in subjects that they're not interested in and don't think they're relevant. Oftentimes, those students can cause distractions and lead to behavioral issues in those classes, and that can slow down the progress of the entire class. However, go watch that student in a vocational class and learn a skill that gives them intrinsic value, and you may see them thriving. Now give them a chance to learn about many hands-on, skill-based opportunities, and you will see a student that likes learning and likes school. Now, we can't ignore the classics of reading, writing, and arithmetic. But what if we could teach them the basics of what they need to know from those subjects, but then let them use the majority of their time exploring practical skills so they can find what they're most interested in? And then let that interest turn into a burning desire to succeed because they invested in it. And by the time they graduate, they'll have been exposed to so many options for their post-high school life. Because vocational schools aren't about forcing a student to pick their career at a young age. It's just experiencing those options. However, let's say a student has found their niche in high school. Some vocational schools have partnerships with companies that'll hire kids right out of high school. For example, P-Tech is a technical high school out of Brooklyn, New York that is partnered with IBM. 44% of that school's graduates in the first year were hired by IBM. However, the vocational school model isn't just about job placement with big industry partners. High school students that complete at least 2 course credits in a career pathway program have about a 95% graduation rate, which is about 10% higher than the national average. Additionally, those that have completed a program score significantly higher on the ACT than those that didn't. This means that a student of a vocational high school will be in a great position if they decide to go to a traditional college. Although college degrees tend to yield higher earnings, high school graduates attending college has declined over the last 10 years. This is usually due to the astronomical prices of tuition right now, but also to the growing demand of high skilled workers. What does that then mean for the traditional high school? Those schools will still be serving students that have plans to go on to a traditional university. They will prepare students for the requirements for admission. This includes the courses that universities require to get in and will teach the skills needed for traditional college success. They'll focus on what students need to be able to do to be successful on the standardized tests like the ACT and the SAT. Both traditional and vocational schools should still hold lots of extracurricular opportunities, such as athletics and clubs, for those are fantastic opportunities for personal and social growth. So, in conclusion, I can almost guarantee that these changes will help everybody involved in education. Students will enjoy school more. They'll develop better personal relationships as they are surrounded by people that have similar interests. And most importantly, they'll have more opportunities to succeed in their adult lives. Teachers will be able to teach way better than before. We'll have students that are more motivated in their classes, and class management will be much easier as bad behaviors will decrease. Administrators will have more opportunities to be placed in schools that better match their skills and their goals. We'll be able to take some of the worst parts of their job off their plate, and parents will feel like their children are on a path to a better life. So, what do you think of this? Is this a model that you think you would have benefited from growing up? If you're currently in school, is this the type of school that you would like to be a part of? What do you think the benefits would be? What do you think the flaws would be? Let me know down in the comments below.